Hello. Oh no, my camera is wrong.
Are you live?
Yes.
I will tweet it,
There you go.
and then I will make the announcement. And I'm going to mute and deafen myself now.
Right.
I'll tune in for the
But
stream.
bye, Disney. And hi, everybody. Um, just some final little tweaks. Let me put on a little bit of background music. I don't know what the volume on that is. Probably too high. Maybe not. I will let you all know. I will let you all check that and tell me if the background music is too much or too low. Hi, Phalanx. And yes, that was my final form. It's it was capturing from the wrong camera, which didn't have all the background removal stuff. So it was just removing everything. Um, I hope everybody's doing fine. And we are just finalizing a little bit of stuff just to make sure that we have the stream done right. I don't let me. I'm gonna hear myself. I'm gonna hear myself. I'm gonna hear myself. I'm gonna hear my. Okay, I'm hearing some feedback. Give me a second then. So I think the background music needs to be just a little bit higher, maybe. I couldn't hear it, but anyway. And it's spicy. Sounds good. All right. Well, I'll trust you all on that, and you can just let me know if I need to tweak any of either my volume or the music or anything like that. So, hi everybody, and welcome to this November developer update for the Forge. Um, it has been about 2 months since our last update. Um, and that was a little bit done on purpose because we had quite a bit of stuff, and I wanted to make sure that the less interesting stuff didn't affect what we were going to be announcing. So basically, we had a couple of new developers joining us, um, which meant a lot of the time was spent uh, kind of managing the team itself, figuring out who needs to do what, and explaining um, the architecture of the forge and things like that. So that has caused us to slow down a little bit on the development side. So that's why I wanted to make sure that we didn't do 1 month um, a developer update after 1 month, and all I could tell you is, well, there wasn't anything new happening. We just uh, uh, told our new developers how the Forge works. So that's why I delayed this until 2 months, so we can have, the first fruits of that labor um, available to show off. Um, and there's quite a few new and really cool stuff that we'll be showing you. So, of course, let's start with the hiring itself. So, if we can look at our about page, you'll see that we have Bruno and Michael who were added recently. There's a third developer that was added to the team and who started just on November 1st. Um, their name should be added within the next few days to the About page. But it is a team that is growing, which is really good, and we are able to do to provide hopefully more and more features and faster. And yeah, so the hiring process that we started this summer is finally over, as we have our 3 new developers joining the staff team. Um, and so far, it's really doing great. Really happy with everyone's work, and I'm seeing some really great progress. As for the new hire, Phi, his name is Rickus. They are a very promising developer as well, and they'll be working on that feature that I promised last time. That is the ability to translate the site, so you can have this little icon here to switch from English to French or German or Spanish or other languages. We're not yet sure on the languages that we'll have. If you remember, in the, I believe in the August developer update, we had a new intern that was going to start working on that feature, but that didn't work out, unfortunately, because of personal issues that they had. So after only one day, they were forced to, unfortunately, cancel their internship. So that's why that feature didn't come to fruition. But now we have Rickus Phi, who will be working on that starting now. Other than that, let's start with some of the really cool new features that we have made on the Forge. So I'm on the developer website here. One of the new additions is the ability to see your upcoming invoices. So you can see from your account, you can go to upcoming invoice and click on it, and you can see, it's a preview of the invoice that will be built on September 10, 2022. And this is what the invoice is going to be. And you can even change it to your local currency. We currently support, I believe, euros and Canadian dollars for the currency conversion. I don't know if we'll be adding more currency conversions, but it is something that we currently support. And this is the interesting part, because we sometimes have people saying, I know what my subscription is, but I can't see the actual invoice until I receive it, so I don't know how much taxes you'll be charging us, etc. So with this, you have that advantage of being able to preview your invoice in advance. This also works in the subscription manager when you change your subscription, and you can do the preview. It will show you a real preview of your invoice, and the same thing when you go to the Bazaar marketplace and buy stuff. So this was really important, because we had to be able to show the exact amount that you'd be paying because of the tax stuff. And on that note, we do have some other update with regards to the taxation. We're continuing. This is taking so much of my time and Leon's time as well, with regards to the sales tax compliance with the US. So we will be adding some new states that will collect taxes from. So if you remember, let me see here. If I go to the forums and the announcements, there was one about the taxes, right? So we had Maryland and Utah that were added on October 1st, where we started collecting taxes for Maryland and Utah. And we will be adding a few new states to the list. Specifically, we'll start collecting from Ohio, Indiana, North Carolina, Michigan, Louisiana, Pennsylvania, and Rhode Island. So that's a pretty long list. We will be notifying people from Pennsylvania and Rhode Island via email, because it will affect their subscription. But the others will only be collecting from Bazaar purchases, because they don't actually charge software as a service. So it's not going to affect any of your invoices. We are already actually collecting from Louisiana now. It's already been added. And we're just waiting on Ohio, Indiana, North Carolina, and Michigan to give us basically our sales tax ID in order to start collecting from those states as well. So if you're in either one of those states, you won't see any changes in your invoice, but when you're going to the marketplace and buy content in that preview, you will see that taxes have been added to that digital purchase, because that's what's getting taxed. Pennsylvania and Rhode Island, those will be affecting the subscription, so we'll notify all our users before enabling that and giving them enough time to review what their upcoming invoice is going to be like. So that's, with regards to the sales tax, it's obviously we're growing, so we have new sales tax obligation, and that's the really annoying part, and the boring part, obviously. But it's also portion of a big portion of the time we spend on the forge, unfortunately, because we do have to make sure that everything is done right. So that's that's the boring portion. Let's get on the less boring portion. We've continued to do all sorts of bug fixes and polish on the forge. Obviously, we had this little change on the front website. You can see it's really nice. I did promise last time that we'd still be doing more changes to the website. We did small tweaks, but we didn't do as much as I wanted. But those are coming soon enough. But I do want to do some higher priority work that I think everybody will be happy with. We did fix one of the issues that some people had, which was that some pages sometimes didn't work, or if you updated an image in your assets library, it wasn't updating in-game as it should. Those were issues that we had with our CDN provider. We fixed one of those where the caching of some of the modules or something like that was not working properly. But with regards to the changes in when you update an existing image and it doesn't reflect that within the game, we've had a couple of months of back and forth emails with Cloudflare, and in the end, basically the response was that it is an intentional bug, as they call it, in that it's how they design things and they can't do anything about it, unfortunately. So we had to compromise. We can. The thing was that the image would be cached for about an hour before. So, if you open your game and for the next hour, you don't need to download the image every time. But so that was good because it allowed you to load into your game or refresh the page and for the scene to appear as fast as possible. But that we can't really do that because if you change your map, for example, and that change is not reflected right away, you have to wait for about an hour. So that was kind of annoying. So we kind of compromised on a 5-minute delay. Not delay, but like a 5-minute cache. So as long as you refresh within that 5 minutes, it's still using your cached version by the browser. Otherwise, it's going to check if there's an update on the server. So that's, I think, a good compromise between the 1% of users that are updating their images versus the 99% of users that are always keeping the same image, but that need to access it as fast as they want, as they can. And I think that works well because generally speaking, by the time you upload a new image and switch to your game, reload the page and all that, that 5 minutes will have elapsed. So you wouldn't really be able to see it. So that was, I think, those two bugs, those two issues were the biggest headaches that we had when it came to tech support that we were providing, because it was a question that was coming up quite often, and so we wanted to make sure that it was fixed. So people have not been complaining about this issue anymore for a little over a month, so we're quite happy with the result. And there's a lot of small polish and improvements all over the website. Obviously, if you go to your game's configuration, for example, you have this little search here, so you can search for kobold. It's a live search, so it's pretty instant, and it's really good for those power users that have, like I do, a ton of worlds. So sometimes having to find that right one was a bit difficult, so we added this to just make it that much easier for everybody. Another very, very big improvement, and that was another one that was causing us a lot of headaches, and by headaches I mean people were constantly asking about it, and we had to help our users figure out how to fix it. And that's not something that I want our users to be doing, right? On the Forge, I pride myself on providing a service that is turnkey, and having someone need to ask how to do something is, I think, a failure on our part. It needs to be intuitive. It needs to just work, basically. And so one of the issues that we had was the fact that it was not able to install packages correctly for specifically for premium packages, and for when you install something from a manifest. So if we go to the bazaar, for example, and we go to install what was the Tome of Beasts, for example, right? So installing something like Tome of Beasts by Kobold Press, which is a premium Foundry content, it's not a bazaar marketplace content. This is, I believe, something like 400 megabytes of data, and Foundry itself would try to install. First, it would try to download the 400 megabyte zip file into your storage, which, as you know, is generally limited for the Game Master tier anyway, to 500 megabytes total size. So just downloading that 400 megabyte zip file was generally going to fail. And then you end up with a leftover file that just puts you over your quota. And that was not, obviously, a good user experience. And so even after that, like even other premium packages or anything that you might be installing via manifest URL from, let's say, a Patreon or something like that, you would still end up with very large modules in your data, which we didn't like, obviously, and users were getting some issues because of that. So one of the things that we added was the ability to just do the install, and as it does the install, it will also do a server-side optimization where it will split all of your media files into the assets library and then delete them from your data folder. It will also increase your quotas temporarily during that installation process, which should allow you to basically install things without issues. So that was a big thing that we wanted to have to avoid these problems where an install would fail. So now it should technically never fail, and it should not be using your quota anymore. So this would, I believe it's like 2 megabytes of data now instead of 400 megabytes, which is really great. So I think that was one of the biggest challenges and one of the biggest changes that we had to do to just improve the user experience overall. And it's there you go. It's finished installing, and it's a small package at this time. And that was one of the tasks that Bruno worked on in last month. so there's, as I was saying, there's a lot of small improvements like that. Um, and this works for manifest installs as well. So if you go to, let's say, custom modules, and then you do install via manifest, and then you paste the manifest URL here, it will do the exact same thing. You can even see here, like, verifying package, on downloading, unpacking, optimizing. You'll see the status shown at the bottom here on where it's got in that step, in that process of the server-side optimizations that we were doing. So that's a really, really good change, and I'm very happy to see that happening at this time. Now, one other really cool change that we did, and that I want to show you, is the shared compendium. So you all know about the shared compendium feature of the Forge, which is really great, and you can just uh, name your shared compendium and just create that for you. Now we have a more dynamic UI where you can also give it a description and you can customize it. So some people didn't like that default listing, and so you can just remove the things that you don't like. You can add you know level 2 monsters, or like CR2 monsters, for example, and just customize it with any number of entries of any type, and just create your compendium with one click of a button. My shared compendium, you know, demoing for the stream. That's my description. Then create compendium, and that's it. It was created, it was installed, and you can even click here to view it directly in the bazaar, which is, I think, a pretty cool new feature that was added. So you can just go and see your shared compendium directly if you wanted to, like, uninstall it. So that's one very big, polishing point. If you remember from the last stream, I said that I wanted to work on improving the polish and the small features. Not necessarily the big, huge features that we want to bring to the Forge, but just like small little details like this. And I think this is just magnificence. It just adds that little extra quality of life to the user's experience. And I'm very proud of this feature, the UI and all that. This is one of the things also that Michael did. So it's all new stuff that the new developers are working on. So you can see, having that ability to have these small changes and bigger changes as well happening at the same time, as I'm working on the other bigger stuff, is really, really cool. So hopefully you all like it. I know that the shared compendium feature from the Forge is a big winner in people's eyes. You all love it because, like, the alternative, I know some users that sorry, I get distracted easily. I know that this is generally how people who are self-hosting will create a shared compendium. This is the article, the guide that people use on how to do it. So let's get started. You have all of your different options. This is how you create the module.json, how you add your packs, and then there's all this description. You have to read all of this and understand it, and then create your own compendium for shared compendium. This is how people have been doing it for basically the past 2 years, and I mean, it's a really great article. It's well written and very detailed, but I just never thought that most users would want to go through that pain. So having this feature is super awesome, right? So let me see my notes here. So yeah, that's one of the really cool features. There's another really cool one. So if you go to like your account here, you have the little button here to delete, to remove your license, right? I can show you also on the development server. I can, you get this little dialog here. You confirm the license removal, and there it is. It's just removed just like that. Because we do have, not often, but we still do receive requests from users to remove their licenses from their accounts, because sometimes someone just makes a mistake and they add their license just to see how it works before gifting it to their DM or something like that, and then it gets stuck on their account. Or just as part of people just wanting to move to their own server, so they want to remove that license from their Forge accounts and things like that. So we did that manually so far. It's something that isn't time consuming so much, but it is something that we had to take care of manually, and just the user themselves having to email us requesting that we delete their license for them is an annoying step. It's an annoying task, obviously. So being able to just do that on their own directly from the account page is just easy and just makes it super super more convenient. That's another one of Michael's additions recently. And now, if you're all ready, we will do the giveaway. Are you all ready? Do you all want to see if you won something? I have 16 total entries. Should I give you all a minute more, or just do it? Ready? Ooh, okay. All right. Where's the button? There it is. Draw. And it drew Lectu. It should be announcing it in chat. Hopefully that worked. But Lectu, yes. So in theory, well, I can show you here. In theory, I've clicked the announce, but I don't know. I'm not seeing the message. Oh, there it is. Now it appeared in chat. But yes, that was, whoops, I moved the wrong window. Lectu, whoops. Okay, I'm a little bit, look here. There you go. All right, back to chat. What happened? Lectu, yes, answered. Congratulations, Lectu. Do contact us via the Twitch chat, and we'll send you a $20 gift card that you can use. You know what? Let's make that $25 gift card. Because the Edo Town, if you want to get the Edo Town, it's $24.99. So with that gift card, you will be able to get Edo Town without adding that little $5 extra from your own pocket if you want it. So I'm just making that $25 gift card so you can have any of these packages that we showed, or anything else, or you can use that for your own Forge subscription as well if you want. It's up to you. All right, sounds good. So do send us a private message in Twitch, and that's it. Actually, I can probably just let's see if I can do that real quick. There you go. I just made a new gift card, and how do you send a message? Whisper. There you go. And there you go. I just sent you a message, Lectu, in private in Twitch with the gift card link, so you can claim it directly in your Forge account. So you don't need to contact us or anything like that. All right. So the giveaway is closed and archived, and we're good. All right. Let me get back into what I was doing here. Where are my notes? Let's see. What did we talk about? I hope everyone's having fun so far. Everyone's happy with all the stuff that we showed. Because some really cool, interesting stuff is about to happen. Let me get through my notes just to see if I'm not missing anything else before I get to the exciting part that I want to show. Let me see. We talked about the invoice preview. We talked about the hiring, the compendium, right, the premium packages self thing, tax stuff. All right, so there's a couple of things that I want to show. The first one is the creator's dashboard, right? This is something that has also been in the works. You know, we talked a lot about the kind of features and things that we do, but some of it you never see because it's reserved to the creators, you know, the Bazaar creators that are on the Forge. So I want to show you what they get, what they see, you know. I am doing this on the development server so that you cannot see any of the actual manifest links without, you know, paying for the content, obviously, and you don't see any of their financial data or anything of the sort. So all of the data I'm going to be showing is not real, basically. It's fake purchases, fake things. It's just the development server. It's just for testing purposes. So first I can click here on the creator dashboard. I am, you know, a administrator, so it shows me an administrator profile. And then this is kind of like my content creator profile. And you can see all the purchases. Let's get to the actual dashboard. So developer creators can access it from the creator dashboard here, and then they get to see their packages. So me, as an administrator, I'm seeing everybody's packages, okay? But we added, so you can notice it looks very similar to the My Games game configuration dialog on the Forge. So we are using kind of the same design. This here, the manifest URL is generally, you know, clear text and you can edit it, but this is hidden just for the purposes of not showing, because some of these are actually real packages that I was testing on the development server. So we don't want to show that to anybody. So I hid it for the purposes of this stream. So you have your dashboard where me as an administrator, I can see all of the creators, what their balances are, what the next payout would be. I can see the payout that already happened. I can see all the purchases that happened. This is all not real data. This is what the creators generally see as creator profile. They can see what their current balance is and when the next payout will be, what that next payout will be, the past payouts, and they can see all of the purchases that happened so far. They'll also get this same kind of bizarre view where they can actually see how their content would appear. And, you know, they can also export everything as CSV files if they want more details. Dragon's Horn Tales, is a premium protected content from Foundry. So it is slightly different. It has, so its manifest URL doesn't have a download link. So instead of us just having the manifest URL, we instead have the protected download URL. In the case of Dragon's Horn Tale, if there's an update, then we use this link to download the content instead of getting it from the manifest. This is how it works. But this is basically, generally you won't have that, but this is basically how a package appears to our creators, so they can decide if what the price will be. They can decide on a sales price. They can decide if they want to enable pay what you want or not, and you can see the package preview here changes accordingly. So you see here it says 6. If you enable this, it says, you know, it becomes pay 1 or more. If it's 0, it becomes pay what you want, with a little arrow to say that it's, you know, there's no minimum. They can add YouTube videos for screenshots video. They can change the cover image. They can change the preview, the description, etc. And if they want, they can also do revenue sharing. This is very similar to what you saw earlier with the shared compendium with regards to the UI, but you can basically enter a creator ID here and what the percentage they should be getting. So you can see here the my share starts to drop as I increase the share of these other creators. So when you have a creator that has partnered with other creators to do like a collaboration type thing, then they can sell it on the bazaar and automatically have that share of the revenue be split among all these creators very easily, with just entering the creator's ID and what is the share that they want to give to the other creators. And you can see here, this is a new edition that was released last week, where you can actually see statistics, right? So you can see, for example, this one, there's a portion that is shared. So you see there's 2 installs, 4 total sales. This is the total generated revenue, and this is what your share of that revenue is, which is really good. You can also see it in the dashboard here, with regards to, you know, you have the price, you have the platform fees, but for the creator's platform, you have the price, what the platform fee is, and what the creator's share is. And, you know, like this fake module here, my share is only 75 cents out of, you know, a $10, because I'm only getting that 10% of the share. So that's kind of, and they can also see whether or not the person who purchased it as a gift or not. So this is kind of what our UI looks like here. They can also generate gift cards, and they can generate a certain number of gift cards every month for each of their packages, if they want to do like giveaways. So they don't need to basically purchase their own content in order to give it to somebody else, obviously. So, and a certain number, like 5 gift cards per month, we wouldn't be charging any kind of platform fees or anything of the sort. And the cool thing also here, so you know how we have, you know, your game is currently online. This needs to be changed, but basically, you know, green means it's available on the bazaar. Like this, the idle indicator, so orange, actually means that it was submitted to us and we need to review it before we approve the package or not. And when it's red like this, which is technically offline, it means it hasn't been set to be ready to be published, right? So the creator just added it and they're still modifying the description and things like that. And you can see current installs 1. And the reason is because if I go to the bazaar, I can actually install it as the owner, basically, of that package. I can install it in order to test it before I make it ready to publish. And when they're ready to publish, they can just, you know, ensure they have their PayPal account links, and then they tell us, you know, assets by KaKaRoTo, licensed for commercial use, maps created by me, etc. They can tell us what the you know, their copyright assignments are and their licenses to use the content. then they get our end user license agreement that they can accept or reject, and once they accept it, then it gets sent to us automatically as an email for us to review, and now it went to ready to be published, basically. And that's kind of it. You know, you can click also here to see what it would like in full screen and things of that sort. So that's kind of how our creator dashboard is, and that has been evolving quite a bit in the last few months. The revenue sharing is a new feature. The statistics is a new feature as well. This is all recent additions that we made, and I wanted to show all of that to you. Hopefully, if you know, I want to show this to kind of our users who might just be curious. I'm a curious person, so I like to know how things work behind the scenes, kind of. So I think that's something really cool that maybe you might be interested in seeing. But also, if you are a creator and if you want to sell your content on the bazaar, this is how it can be done. You know, this is what it looks like. You just want to add your package, you just add the URL, you select what type of content it is, and then click the create module, and then you get this view where you can just customize your content and edit your revenue sharing and generate gift cards, set it ready to be published. You can see your statistics and all of that. And that's kind of our UI, you know. And we have some really great, you know, our knowledge base. We have some really great articles, guides to tell you how to do different things. And the getting started here is really simple. We just receive an email with information about the content, and then we can approve. Like change your give you the role of creator, and that gives you access to the creator's dashboard.